I want to be able to take somebody who already has their own superpower, somebody who knows exactly what they're good at, they can solve these problems. My goal is to show you how to find those people and then how to position yourself correctly for them to want to offer you equity in their company and pay you top dollar. Carl talks about being the Tinder of the business acquisition world, connecting buyers and sellers.
The Tinder.
Yeah, the Tinder. Like, one of the limiting beliefs people has is just the fact that they're not worth it or they're not capable, and that's just not true. If you're really good at something and you can solve a business owner's problem that they're already looking to have solved, if they're searching for a solution in Google, there is a path for you here.
Beyond your paycheck, it's surges of cash that you can use to grow your net worth and feed your investments.
Welcome back to another episode of Surges of Income podcast. I've got my buddy Lorian here with me. My only live podcast session so far in the past has been you. We're back for a second round. We're in the new studio, and we're here in a little bit of a different format than usual, because I'll tell you what's going to happen. For anybody listening to this on Apple, Spotify, iTunes, I want you to just imagine that he's in my studio with me. Yes, you can go see it on YouTube, but we're going to flip the script, and you're going to interview me today rather than me interview you. So welcome. The microphone's yours. You're in charge. Ask me anything, my friend.
I'm really excited because, one, Chris, you have your new program coming out, Equity Partner.
It's out.
It's out. It's here.
It's out, yeah.
And one thing that's been really cool is just seeing Chris's journey over the time, and I'm so grateful to be a part of that. So I'm going to ask you, as we go into this interview, are you willing to be like authentic and open with me as we talk?
Sure, I always am.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Well, I guess I asked that because one of the questions that I have, you shared a lot of your stories with me, but how did you go from like a restaurant manager? Did you graduate college?
That'd be a negative.
That'd be a negative. To now launching your own program, you're a part of so many companies through this method of consulting for equity. Like, how'd you get started, man? How did this get to here?
Yeah, humble beginnings for sure. You know my story. My girls are probably 100 feet from us, just got home from school, 15 and 16 years old now. And I was a restaurant manager like literally 15 to 16 years ago. And it's been quite the journey. I learned a lot through that process. But fast forward to about 2012, I got into real estate. And then from there, I got into digital marketing pretty quickly after. And I think that was the beginning of the beginning for me, right? Really where I learned that I have the ability to do some pretty amazing things and solve bleeding problems for business owners. And wow, they'll pay me to do it, right? And a lot of my early times, I was working with people, and they're all wonderful people, every one of them, right? But I wasn't like a partner of theirs. I wasn't getting equity in somebody's company. And then there's always this moment where you realize, like, maybe I am the secret sauce. I am the person who's bringing the change. I'm the common denominator of every time we do something, it works. Like, why am I building somebody else's business? Why am I building somebody else's bank account when I could be building my own? So I think where it really started for me is we were doing deals before I even knew what doing deals was. We're doing equity partnership deals with people, and people are like, hey, we love you guys. Come in here and be our partners. Like, I don't think we even knew what it was. We didn't. We're just like, yeah, we can do that. Are you going to pay us too? Yeah, of course. Like, all right, great. Well, this is how we're here today, right? And I had this pretty traumatic injury, right, in 2020. And then, a year and a half later, I can't even sit at a desk. It's so painful. Wow. So after, I ended up having to stop working completely for a while. And when I was able to come back into the workforce, a couple months later after just really letting my body heal. And I think you were around, you remember some of that journey I went through with my pelvic injury. But either way, I know I needed to do something different. I wanted to step into my greatness even more. And that's where I just doubled down, and I just started doing nothing but consulting for equity. Fast forward to today, right? Carl Allen, my business partner, and Ross and Jeremy, all my buddies. We've done a lot of really cool stuff. I have equity in over 25 different businesses. We've done a lot of annuity deals, traditional business acquisitions, multi-million-dollar acquisitions. We bought half of quite a few companies. We've been giving equity for free in several companies as well. And we've been teaching this at a high level. We have over 18,000 students inside the Dealmaker Wealth Society family, people who've paid us to learn. We've got over 1,000 people, I think close to 1,000 in our inner circle, Dealmaker Protege. And the one thing is so interesting, I hope you don't mind me just going off on a tangent here, but this consulting for equity is so popular. Everyone wants to do it. No one's teaching it. Like, we've been teaching it this whole time, but it hasn't been the core focus of our group, of our program. So now it is. We've created another sister community. And as you know, our communities are quite successful. We have a very high success rate. People are doing deals in our communities. So we said, what if we created something and put all that energy and focus and channeled it towards just consulting for equity? And that's where Equity Partner came from. Like the shirt you're wearing. It says, will work for equity, right? And it's so powerful. That's where we are today. I was doing deals before I even knew what it was, but I realized that moment, and I think everyone has this moment.
Talk to me.
Some people have this moment later in life, like, I don't want to work for somebody else, or
Yeah.
I'm really, really good at what I do. Why am I not doing this for myself? And this is so natural, yet all these people go out and start businesses. 96% of businesses that get started fail within 10 years. You can go out and buy one of the 4% that survived. You know what else you can do? You can go solve problems for the 96 that are failing and help them not fail and help them keep their dreams in line and get the benefits of business ownership without having to take on any risk at all. And be a partner in the business, get paid a retainer fee plus upside.
That's incredible.
It's powerful, man. I'm
Well,
passionate about it, as you can see.
I'm curious.
Go ahead.
I'll rewind back a little bit. So you made the decision that you just wanted to do consulting for equity deals. Like, what was that shift? Like, what mindset did you?
Well, I mean, I loved what I did, and I just had that injury, and I just needed to stop. I just needed to stop working because that injury was that debilitating. And I knew when I was pressing reset, like, all right, what am I going to do next? I said, all I want to do is solve problems. All I want to do is solve problems, get paid a ton of money to do it. I have all this experience, all these like trophies, all this track record. I've crushed it again and again. And I had multiple companies I owned besides that the whole entire time. But I knew at that moment that I wanted to do something different once I rebounded and I got healthy again. And I only wanted to work with one person. I talked to 3 of my mentors. I talked to Sean. I talked to some guys I knew from Todd Brown's world. And they said, well, what do you want to do now? You get the world in front of you. You're able to go out and just work in any business. I said, I want to work with Carl Allen. He's the only guy I want to work with. I said, what do I do?
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
I remember
I did. You too.
We were I was walking home, and you said, I have a really exciting person that like I've been watching for a little while
and
now.
we knew each other too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he already knew what I was capable of. And I said, what do I do? And he said, call Carl Allen, see if he wants to work with you. So I called Carl Allen and I said, hey, you're the only guy I want to work with. You're mission over money. I said, I'm going to 10x somebody's company in the next 2 years. I only want to work with you. And he said, let's effing go. So we effing went. And here we are today, right?
Here you are
That's
today.
what it is. But I think every business I've been a part of, all of them have been a beautiful part of my journey.
Wow.
Not a stepping stone. No, they're a big part of my journey. And I learned so much. Remember what I told you a long time ago? Always earn while you learn.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for so long. I did
Yeah.
earn while I learned. I was earning while I was helping people a lot in the multi-level marketing space, in the real estate space. I was on stage. I taught real estate school for 7 years. And I was learning tons while I was making money before it was my time to get out there and really hit the next level.
Is that what you ended up doing? Like, so when you went to go work with Carl, was that your first consulting for equity deal? Like,
No.
You had done some
We've been
before that?
doing, oh yeah.
Tell me about
Yeah.
your first deal, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of deals before that. We didn't even know what we were doing, right? We did quite a few consulting for equity deals from being inside the mastermind where we met Carl, right? We did a couple of those there. So if you remember watching some of my other training, consulting for equity, right? Very loose terminology. Technically, it could be marketing for equity. It could be sales for equity, right? So I did other things besides just consulting. I was doing marketing and growth marketing. I was working with people and I was getting rev share. So instead of just equity, it also could be rev share, it could be profit share, profit interest partnerships, whatever makes sense for the scenario, right? Because if they're not going to exit, there's not going to be a big check at the end of the rainbow. I'm not going to ask for equity because I don't want that risk, right? But yeah, my first one was in 2013 with Thomas. He actually went to the college he went to. We talked about this.
Oh, you?
Yep. Yeah. So Thomas Felder, great dude, amazing dude. But I came in and as a rev share deal, I marketed for him and helped him build his online courses and helped him find a way to help his downline inside of 5 Links. That was my first deal where I said, hey, don't pay me, bring me in on the deal. Let's work on this together. Let's do a rev share. And I made $1 out of every certain number of dollars made. And we just did it again and again. And we launched product after SaaS. It was my first SaaS product as well. So we launched prospecting websites, SVP Jumpstart, SVP Autopilot, SVP Express, which was my learning management system. And then we went on to turning it into a software where we can literally give people websites. And then we did that for like 5 or 6 different other leaders in multi-level marketing companies. And we did it solving the same problem again and again without thrashing and got revenue share on everything we did.
When you first started talking to Thomas, what type of mindset was he in? Were you nervous about it? Because you had never done it before. That was your first deal. How did you know
I
that
knew
it
I
was
could
something
solve
that...
the problem because I knew I could do
That's where it
Kajabi.
comes
I
in at.
knew I could do a course, right?
Okay.
Guy and I were talking about this. He's like, well, have you ever had something you did, but it didn't pan out, but it led you to the next thing? Yeah, I built, when I wrote my best seller, my first best-selling book, Real Estate Marketing on Facebook, I built an entire course on it. Never even took it to market. Sold 0 of them. But that process, going that whole thing, got me to the point when I had that moment and I met Thomas Felder, that I was able to take advantage of that and not take advantage of him, but say, yeah, I can do that. I can do that right now. Let's go do it. And then he and I worked together for several years. Yeah, but that technically is a consulting for equity deal.
What do you feel like was like kind of the midpoint where I know you said there was a point where your pelvic injury, because I remember that was a really tough time. What do you feel like was the midpoint? Was there someone who taught you? Was there a guide? Like what was the actual spark? Was like this is now I'm going to create my own program and I'm going to do this over and over and over again.
Well, I'm not creating my own program until now, right? So think about that was over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Or it was about 3 years ago. So I didn't want to create my own program, right?
You didn't?
No. So listen to this. So I want you to go back to EOS,
Right.
visionaries and integrators. I am a guy who helps people execute their vision. I'm an integrator, right? I'm kind of a hybrid,
Yeah.
but very unicorn, right? But I'm technically an integrator. I don't want to go out and be in the spotlight. I'll tell you what I am is I'm a teacher. I've been teaching and guiding and mentoring people for so long. And you know this, before I was ever on any stages. This has been my MO since day one, right? So nothing about creating a course. It's about reaching the right people and having a platform to be able to reach those people, right? These trophies, the Inc. 5000s, the ClickFunnels 2,X awards, the other ones on the way, all the business deals I've done, it's doing nothing but giving me authority to give me a platform to help people. When I went and joined Carl after I transitioned out of the marketing agency business, it wasn't to gain the spotlight. I didn't coach anything. All I did is enhance his vision. I integrated into his world and executed his vision. We over 10x that company in 2 years because that's what I do. When I'm able to run, when someone takes all my chains off and says, go at it, I'm going to be able to crush it. That's what I do. And I could predict success. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken on that opportunity, right? So no one necessarily said, like, here's what you need to do. And it's all learning as you go.
So why now then? Like why? And there's only like you said, there's only like 2 other people who are really out
Sure,
here
why-
doing it.
yeah.
So why now for you? If this was
You are asking difficult questions. No, I'm just kidding. So why now? Why is now the time? Well, first of all, Consulting for Equity has picked up a lot of steam inside of the Dealmaker Protege group, inside of our inner circle business acquisition mentoring group.
Yeah.
So many people are doing it. And it's cool because what can take months and even a year to close a deal in acquisitions, which is a wonderful method
Yeah.
to being a business owner, right? And making a lot of money, can only take weeks or days with Consulting for Equity. And there's a lot of people that were watching these students take this journey of buying a business. And a lot of them have opportunities to help business owners that maybe don't have businesses that fit exactly what they're looking for. Or maybe the businesses that they want to buy aren't financeable. So they have the ability to help those people and monetize their journey, which is a big part of it, right? It's not about the destination. It's not about, all right, I'm going to come in and buy a $2 million cash flowing business. I'm going to put $30K in my pocket automatically. I'm going to put in hard work for 9 months. And what if you could do it a different way? What if you could do all of that, focus on the destination, but make 150 grand on the way? Because think about this. Carl talks about this all the time. Only 1 in 11 businesses for sale in the open market will actually sell. That's it. In the E-Myth, Michael Gerber talks about it. Said out of 100 businesses that start, 96% of them fail within 10 years.
Man.
What happens to the other 10 out of 11 businesses? Who's helping them? Number one. What happens to the other 96%? What happens to them? They shut their doors, they turn off the lights, they liquidate, right? So with Consulting for Equity, imagine, we're going to go in with proper expectations and acquisitions. Out of 10 businesses, 11 businesses we looked at, 10 of them aren't going to sell. They probably aren't financeable. They're probably not prepared to sell. The business owner's wearing too many hats. Who's helping those people? That's the mission. Why now? Is because why not? Consulting for Equity, only 1 to 2 people besides me in the whole world are really teaching this. And I hope 100 people teach this. Who cares? There's enough business out there for everybody. I have my own unique ways of doing it, right? I have my own ways of doing it. I've made all my money, millions of dollars doing this my way. And Mark's done it his way, and Roland's done it his way. These guys are fantastic, but I want to teach my way.
So what's your superpower?
Maybe God laid it on my heart for now being the time.
What, yeah.
Maybe that's why the time is. You know, sometimes I don't ask questions. I say, yes, sir, and I do it. That's why, right now.
So what do you feel like is that? And I hear that, man. And honestly, you kind of touched the chord hearing about what about the business owners, the ones that don't fail, but they just need help. So what do you feel like is your unique mechanism? Like what's the Chris Moore superpower spin that makes this work, and how you've been able to do it and how you've been able to impact others?
Sure.
Like,
so Consulting for Equity, go Google it, first of all. You're not going to find very much, but you will find that like it's someone who does a consulting relationship and then gets an equity position. Yes and no. Is that really what it is? It could be. The way I teach it is a little bit different. Really, I want consulting and equity, just like we talked about, very loose terminology, right? I want to be able to take somebody who already has their own superpower, somebody who knows exactly what they're good at, they can solve these problems. This is the scenario that would have to be true for me to literally crush it for this business owner in this industry, at this size of a business, in this scenario. I'm going to crush it. My goal is to show you how to find those people and then how to position yourself correctly for them to want to offer you equity in their company and pay you top dollar. And I'm talking about working for people who have some money, not people who are broke. Broke people can't pay you.
Yeah.
Win-win, but solve for your win first. You got to make money doing this, right? People need help. And there's also people who are able to help that don't know how to position themselves in the way to win. So I want to match those two together. Carl talks about being the Tinder of the business acquisition world, connecting buyers and sellers.
The Tinder.
Yeah, the Tinder, right?
Funny.
For me, it's kind of similar to the thing. Like the mission's twofold.
Yeah.
We want to arm 100,000 people in the next 4 years. That's my mission.
Arm 100.
Carl, 100,000 people
Let's
in the
go.
Equity Partner Program, and I want to do it at a very low cost where everyone can afford it. And I want to show them how to do something that can change their entire life and change them from being an employee or someone who's being hired to someone who has the benefits of business ownership, helping a business owner not close their doors, maybe help them exit, help them grow, help them get past plateaus, help fill in the gaps, help take off hats and relieve stress, and get paid top dollar to do it and get paid upside as well. That's what I want to do. That's the mission. And you say, why now? God laid it on my heart. It's time. That's all you need to know. Like, that's it. So it's
I love
game
that,
time.
man. I absolutely love it.
And no one's teaching this out there, really. Roland
Yeah.
teaches it. Mark teaches it. Both of them are brilliant. They have their own specific ways to do it. I have my way. We're all going to collaborate maybe one day. I don't know Roland directly, but I'd love to collaborate. There's a lot of people that need our help.
What do you feel like would be the best win scenario, I guess? I asked you this kind of yesterday, and I loved what you shared with me. I don't know if you mind sharing it again, or maybe taking up. But in 1 year from today, with this program that you got put on your heart to put together, what would you be most proud of? How would this be a win?
Well, I think you asked me, like, how do you define success, too? And I said, it's already been successful.
Yeah.
Someone very, very, very close to me last week had to have an identity shift and had to get away from, this is who I am, this is what I do. And I helped him upgrade his identity into what his amazing superpowers is. Then I put him in the right rooms. He met several people, and one of them, they're going to do a deal together where he's going to come in and get paid quite a bit of money. It's going to double his household income just from plugging in
That's
what he
incredible.
does amazing into somebody else's business. And they already wanted it. They already woke up, that business owner's already searching for this solution. And that's one of 5 examples just from last week.
Wow.
We've already been successful.
Wow.
The key to success here is to touch as many lives as possible, because there's so many people out there who are damn good at what they do that don't know how to channel it in the right direction.
Yeah, you've helped me along my journey of learning how to channel my success in the right direction. And you also, just so you guys know, Chris is somebody who's like authentic, vulnerable, and will help push you even with some of the dark stuff that you're dealing with. So I just appreciate you with a lot of things.
For sure, bro.
I
love Jesus, but I cuss a little. That's my religion.
Well, I'm kind of curious as well, moving forward, like, what do you feel like is the 3 limiting beliefs, like, for the person who may be struggling, thinking, is this right for me? What do you feel like are like the 3 main limiting beliefs that they have going into consulting for equity, and realizing they have a superpower that may be able to infuse in someone else's business to skyrocket it or provide value?
Yeah, if I had to pick 3 limiting beliefs, I'll start with answering a different question, then we'll jump to that.
Please.
One of the biggest things people have is they have identity issues, where they identify with what they do in their profession, and that's not necessarily who you are.
You helped me realize that.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time.
all the time.
Even our bank account balance, how well a client
Yeah.
likes us, it doesn't define who we are. We define that inside of us, right?
Yeah.
So I think understanding the biggest limiting belief is no one wants what I'm able to give them. No one wants me in their business. No one would give me equity in the business. And you believe that, it means you're right. You have to learn how to step into your own greatness. You need to learn how to reposition the way that you talk about yourself. Inside my course, inside the community, we talk about gaining authority, and there's the 6 P's to gaining authority. And one of them is all about positioning. And one of the things is how you talk about yourself is true. So you got to learn how to talk about yourself in a different way, right? And I think that's a big part of it. So one of the limiting beliefs people has is just the fact that they're not worth it or they're not capable. And that's just not true. For some of you, it may be true. But for most of you, it's probably not true. If you're really good at something and you can solve a business owner's problem that they're already looking to have solved, if they're searching for a solution in Google, there is a path for you here. right? You may not get equity in every single company, but you're going to make money. You're going to make money. This is a money-making game where you're going to get paid on the journey, right? It's not about a destination. It's not about signing a document or getting a trophy.
Right.
It's about getting extra money coming into your family's household every month without having to learn a whole giant new skill or without having to have a giant down payment to buy a real estate property. Just plugging in what you do already every day and solving problems for people, right? So that's number one, is they just don't believe in themselves so that they're capable, right?
Yeah.
One of the things we talk about inside of the Equity Partner Program is taking inventory. So we look down and say, all right, so what do we have inside of us that we could trade for equity? What are our skills, our resources, our background, our connections, our wins? What programs have we developed? What problems have we solved in the past that we could package up and solve again and again and again? You know, we talk about business all the time. The guys who make the most money and the girls who make the most money are not people who can solve a million different problems. That's just not how it works. It's the person who can solve one problem a million times.
Say that.
That's it. That's the key, right? So you've already learned how to solve your problem. So understanding what you're capable of is huge. Limiting belief number 2. I have no business experience. No one will take me seriously. Well, most of the time, go back to gaining authority. It's the 6 P's of gaining authority, which is positioning, pitch, publish, pedigree, proximity, and proven. Like, if you don't have case studies and trophies and people talking about how you're great, you're always going to have to prove yourself. And that sucks, right? So part of what we do on our journey is I'm going to teach you, without having to be in the big spotlight or risk yourself or whatever, is how to position yourself correctly, how to have the right trophies, have the right awards, certificates, trophies, or whatever that show you that you're qualified to do what you can do, how to get in front of the right people and around the right people and upgrade the quality you keep. And so you have implied authority and real gained authority. And this is a very easy game. So one of those things, like, no one would partner with me. I have no experience. I have no wins, whatever. I've just been in a W-2 for the last 20 years. I'll teach you how to figure out how to position with integrity what you've done and start building up this case study library and testimonials. And I'll teach you how to do that, because that's what you're going to need. So that may be true, but I can help you with that. And that's something that you can put effort in that's not going to pay a diminishing return. The last one is, I can't go out and find business owners. I'm terrible at talking to people. I'm not good at prospecting. I'm terrible at sales. I've never negotiated anything in my life, right? I even pay too much when I go to the car dealership. Like, somebody has a limiting belief, like I'm not capable of it. That may be true until you believe in yourself. Open your mind and your heart and let me teach you. I'm going to teach you how to expertly position yourself. I teach a sales mastermind. I teach marketing agency owners how to sell as well. I have hundreds of salespeople that work for me that I train every Friday. I'm training over 1,000 people in Dealmaker Protege how to talk to business owners and sellers and literally even convince them to go owner financing. Like, I guarantee you I can help you. I even have lessons where I've taught the introvert's guide to taking control in conversations and feel like the boss. Like, I can teach you no matter what level, and I've done it live. You've seen me do this live with a whiteboard.
Yeah.
I can teach you at whatever level how to really be an expert and let the quality of the questions you ask in your discovery sessions with business owners give you the authority and credibility you need, right? You got to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk. This is not a no-skilled person game. Like, if you don't have skills, if you can't predict success, you'll take my course and I will weed you out. As soon as you take my course, I will literally say exit left, exit left. If you exit left, if you have the wrong intentions, get out of here, right? I'll kick you out and refund you, right? But if you have skills and you have high integrity and you want to help people and you want to make a lot of money, I got you.
You know, one of the things that I'm quite fond of about you is it goes back to your limiting belief number 1, where someone may feel like they don't have a superpower, or but you could take someone who was working a W-2 job, figure it out, and then help them plug and play. You don't change what you do. Every deal that at least I see you part of, you play the same role in every single one of them.
Dude.
Which, that energy management, you have incredible energy management powers, dude. Like, but that's one thing that I'm like, man, Chris, that's where looking at consulting for equity now, I'm like, I could do the same thing as a content marketer as we get better at learning how to create content that sells. You do the same thing, and you've been doing the same thing for over a decade, and just getting better and better, honing in that skill.
Thank you.
It's incredible.
Think about resources. Forget money. Think about resources: time, money, wisdom, expertise, manpower, right? What are you trading for equity? And this is what I've gotten good at. I already have that. I'm not trading time for dollars. I'm trading results for dollars. So for me to plug in something I've already figured out, I've already solved the puzzle, so I already solved these problems, and plug it into a business, and I already have all these teams, dude. I've got VAs, I've got video people, you know, I've got an entire suite around me.
Yeah.
boom, I can plug this in and they'll give you 50%. I don't have to lift a finger besides be the strategist. So
Right.
that's where it comes in, right? So you guys were with me in Gatlinburg. We were upper echelon mastermind in the 35,000 square foot cabin, right? Back in July, I believe, or maybe May. This is in May, right? And we talked about there, I did a session called How I've Owned Between 6 and 10 Businesses at Any Given Time for the last decade. I only work 30 hours a week. I get in the hot tub every day and I sleep like a baby, right? And it's exactly what you said. It's energy management, right? Because I know the 4 things that stress people out and cause burnout. I know what they are. And I've hired coaches. I had Coach Cy, I've had Coach Jess Turner help me with this and show me, like, shine a flashlight on what the problems are. Once we were aware of it, we could fix it, right? But that's exactly what it is. That's the beauty of consulting for equity. You solve this problem. You've got a perfect formula, even imperfect formula. You've got a process. You can plug this process into a business. It can run and you can keep getting paid. And you can put somebody over to manage it. Plug it into another one. Plug in another one. Then what I teach in Equity Partner is how do I find a room full of all of those perfect business owners? And they're all having these problems. They all believe it's already a problem. They're looking for someone to solve it. And they would love to have my expertise.
Wow.
Masterminds. I love it. I'm not going to give away the whole secret, but I'm not just masterminds. There's 5 different ways I teach deal origination, but it's just incredible. That's who I'm talking to. If you figured something out, like, boom, I got this. I don't care if you're a salesperson.
Right.
If you're a salesperson, say, listen, I can come into your company, give me a month, I'll sell it myself, I'll rebuild your sales process, I'll manage your team, I'm going to take you to the victory, right? You can go into a company who's got a great product, a lot of demand, but they can't figure out the path to purchase. You can literally come in there and say, I'm going to solve that for you. I want 25% of anything I sell. I want 10% or a 7% override on every single thing my team sells. We're going to do 10% commissions plus my 7%. And then instead of, without even getting equity in a company, and all of a sudden you're making 7% of everyone's sales and you're making a retainer. I mean, like, we even know a company that does that.
It's kind of like finding, and long story, like, and if I had to package it, like finding your tribe. Like you have found your zebras.
You said it really well yesterday. I created my own tribe.
You created your own tribe,
Yeah.
exactly.
But I think finding your tribe is massive.
But you did create your own. You did create.
I tend to do that. I even look back like 10, 15 years ago. Like, I'm looking around. I'm like, hey, what are my friends doing? Hey, guys, let's go to a basketball game. Like, I always was instigating.
Yeah, I can
It's
see
just that nervous energy I have. I got to keep moving.
I can
But,
see
yeah.
that, man.
But any more burning questions, man? I really am excited about my equity partner. Ask me why. It's my mission. This is time. And interestingly enough, if you're already watching this, the course is already launched. The community is already launched. Hundreds of people in it already. And there's a reason why. Number one, we made it extremely affordable.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody saying I can't afford this because I have something to teach you. I need you to learn this so you can go out and change your life.
Man, do you want to show this? Like, we can't zoom in, but you want to show
no,
now?
you can find it.
But it's going.
It'll be in the description.
There are
right?
people like getting it every single day, man.
They're in it. But
Yeah.
Number two, I want you to walk into something with momentum. Right?
Yeah.
There's going to be people there to help you on your journey. We have it tagged. We have a full tag system where it's like categories of what everyone does, everyone's superpower. So you can go find people and network with people who are just like you, who are out there solving problems. You can join teams of people, companies and partnerships are going to form. I think over at Protege, we even had a marriage form between 2 of our students. Like,
wow.
We have people, like I went to a good friend of my friend Jamie Busby, if you're watching this. Jamie lives over in the UK. And I remember this post he posted when we were in Dealmaker Protege group. After 1 year in Protege, here's the 10 lessons I learned from Dealmaker Protege, right? And almost all of it was about the community and the camaraderie and the friendships and the partnerships and the people. Like, of course, Carl and Chris are great and everything was great and the learning's great and the opportunity's great, but it's the people. Equity Partner is the people. People are going to be in this program because they are trying to change their life and being around like-minded people. Maybe at home, people to understand your ambitions. Maybe everyone in your life says, stay to your W-2, get your paycheck, try to get your pension. Does it exist anymore? I don't know, right? But you know you're made for something bigger. You know that you want to step out. Maybe you've been a CFO, a virtual or a fractional CFO, and you've been helping all these businesses, but you've never gotten equity. Like, not everybody understands your ambitions, but come to a group of people and hang out with us and come to our events and come be a part of my weekly calls and let me coach and mentor you. I will change your mindset and our coaching will change your life. I'm
100%.
telling you.
I'll
There's thousands and thousands of people will say that. There's thousands and thousands of testimonials. You can go find them.
Yeah.
It's real. So this is an opportunity to expand our reach, focused in on something I'm extremely passionate about, very, very good at, by the way, and not try to toot my own horn, but this is what I teach.
Yeah, I was just gonna add in, man. Like, I've seen as you built this over the past year and how you've been like, I'm finishing this. You're writing everything out, but this isn't just 1 year of you building this program. This is, again, over a decade of you before you even knew what you
Well
were
over a
doing.
decade, yeah.
Yeah, well over
Yeah.
a decade.
I know I only look 25, but I'm 38.
That's just what the ladies think.
38. Yeah.
But
No,
this
my
is,
kids are 15 and
but
16. I've been around.
you've been building this and figuring out and creating your own unique mechanism for this before you even knew what you were doing, man. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this mission.
100%, dude. Let's
Amen.
keep it going. And what's the one thing that I always say?
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
Let's
No
go.
matter how much success you have in life, no matter how high you reach, look at this way. I'm just getting started. It takes all the pressure off of all the demand and the success. Instead, it keeps you humbled, keeps you grounded, and reminds you that guess what? The destination's coming, but let's enjoy the journey. And if this is this good right now, imagine if I was just getting started, how amazing could it be later? So,
Amen.
yeah, this can be your moment.
Amen. Well, as we wrap up, is there anything else?
That's it.
All right, man.
I think we should go to the Chinese buffet.
I think so too. I think you need him with a roll tide before we go, though.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Roll tide.
No, thanks.
I'm just kidding.